thinking about in terms of a better and a greater world for all people. And we can't do that by me in one corner doing what I can do to hurt you and you in the other corner doing the same thing.
Yes. All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to my first conversation. Today, I have a special guest with me, and it's not really a guest, it's a guest to you all, but it's somebody personal for me because I've known this person since they were a child, basically a baby. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started because, like I said, the name of this conversation is called No Beating Around the Bush. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It's not about me, so I'm going to turn it over to you. Can you just introduce yourself and let us know who you are?
Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm born and raised in DC area. Trans guy living here in South Florida right now, starting my own nonprofit and working to build a better life.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I heard you say you starting a nonprofit.
Yes.
What type of nonprofit you starting before we even get started?
Housing for trans people like me. We've been discriminated against here in the South, all over the United States, and we don't have proper housing. So that's the main focus right now.
Oh, I'm proud of you for that. That's what's up. To stand up and stand for something is always a good thing. So I'm very proud of you for doing that. So Ryan, I heard you say that you were trans. So
Yes.
First and foremost, I mean, we live in 2022, so you would think that everybody knows what trans is, but can you just explain to those who don't know what it is, what trans is and what it means?
Trans means to transition to somebody you're more comfortable, you're feeling more loving about yourself, you're not falling depression, so you're feeling more adequate with yourself.
So when you say more adequate with yourself, you meaning it's changing your sexuality? Is it gay? Is it straight? What is it?
Yeah, you're changing your gender.
So you're changing your gender when you're trans. Okay.
Yes.
So when you say that you change your gender to trans, was that something that you always knew? Because I knew you. And do you mind telling everyone what your former name was?
Former name was Ashley.
So I knew Ashley, and I'm getting to know Ryan, which I'm very happy to meet, of course. So where did this come from? Like, was it always there? Because I was gone for years. So like I said, I knew you as a baby, and then things happened, and I didn't see you until you were an adult. And when I met that adult, I met a woman. So where did this come from? Was it something always there?
Yeah, it was something always there, and we something was missing from my life. I was like battling depression, like what can I do to better myself? Then I met some other trans people, and like I felt more comfortable like being in a man's body.
That's ironic. So what I heard you, so it's funny because from what I just heard, you did not even know. You were battling with something, but did not know what that something was.
Yes.
Wow. That's deep. So so you're battling, and what did you think it was? Like, as you were feeling depressed, what was your depression about?
I felt uncomfortable in my body.
Mm.
So be more comfortable with my body. So it just clicked just like that, Why not transition? I'm more happier than myself than I always have been.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. So psychologically, okay, now that's the physical aspect of it. And psychologically, there was also a psychological aspect. Like when you met another trans person and you started was it just the physicalness of them, or in the mind that you seemed to connect, some part of you connected with them mentally?
Connect with her mentally. So we actually met at a Mrs. game back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And we started like connecting, we started talking, whatnot, and like she kind of coached me through them whole 2 years actually before I actually came out as trans.
Wow. So when you start to transition, because you said trans means you're going from, in your case, a female to a male, what does that transition consist of? From a physical aspect, I'm sorry.
Physical aspect, just hormone therapy, testosterone, a little more aggression. That's just the physical aspect of it right now.
So you say you notice a little more aggression because the person
Yes.
that I knew was not an aggressive person. So now
No.
that you're having these new hormones come in, you're starting to notice a more masculine
Little more
aggression
aggression.
about you.
Yes.
Oh man, that's amazing, man. So you've not only do you the changes happen physically, there's a psychological change as well.
Yes. Psychological change, the more aggression. Also, I go through we call it like a withdrawal stage. So I had therapy about that. You know,
And what does that mean? Like a withdrawal stage?
withdrawal stage.
Excuse me.
Sometimes you like have this. Your body. How can I say this? Your body doesn't really. Sometimes the withdrawal stage, like you kind of depressed and taking hormones, testosterone, whatnot. So you kind of withdrawn from society. Your moods are up and down.
Wow. So okay. So there's a certain element or chemical in, if I'm understanding correct, the medicine that
Yes.
will some kind of way trigger some type of depression.
Yeah. Every now and then. Yes.
Wow. Is that, do you think, or do you know if that comes from the female, because you were born female, so because that male is trying to take over, do you think that's where the depression part may be coming in from a medical standpoint, like from the pills?
Yeah. Not from the pill, just more like the psychological side of it.
Oh, from the psychological side. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes more sense. Okay. Wow, I had no idea that. Like, I mean, I guess I wouldn't. I never didn't know that. It's funny to know that, I mean, I'm gay, but that's a whole nother entity, and so I'm not even familiar with that, just like a heterosexual person is like to me, like, wow, that's what you feel, or that's this. So it's just,
Yeah.
even for me, for those of you all who don't know, this is, something new for me. But I think it's very important for people to know that, to know trans, gay, straight, whatever, because we're all different. And that it's not for nobody else to decide who we're supposed to be or judge who we are. I'd rather you be happy in your skin than be depressed and not want to live. And so for me, that's what matters more. So now moving forward, so tell me about your family. Like, what about, so how is your mother around? Is your dad around? Like, tell me a little bit about your family and your transition.
My mom, she's trying to accept it.
That's
She's
good.
like she messes up sometimes. So one day at a time that everybody's trying to accept it. They might slip up, but they correct themselves.
That's the most important thing, because, before we started the conversation, I did, but it's
Yeah.
about respecting that person and making sure that you are aware that I made a mistake, but the
Yes.
fact, so in the beginning, was it a struggle with her? Like, because I mean, that's your mother, she had you. And so,
Yes.
I can only imagine from a parent's aspect, that's a whole nother psychological or mental aspect that they have to deal with. So how
Yeah.
did it, what was the conversation when you initially approached her, or were you already transitioning and approached her? How did that go?
Yeah. I was actually 2 months in my transition when I actually told her. And I had to educate her from time to time. She had to actually get used to it, you know. She still messes up sometimes, but I educate her. I gave her pamphlets, stuff to read and look at. So it's one day at a time.
Guess what? I'm proud of her, because she didn't have, there are a lot that don't do that. I mean, I don't know if there was a struggle or not, because I'm not going to get the whole story, in this little bit of time, but it seems like she was accepting of it. Even if there was a struggle, she's come around. And I think that's the bigger picture, because, you could have been one of those that took your life because nobody accepted you. It's one thing to have family, outside of blood, but it's nothing like having that blood support you, even if it's a struggle, for them to come around and finally say, you know what, you're still who I love. That just your
Yeah.
physical aspect has changed, but the
Yeah.
person is still that person on the inside, and I love you for you. So
Yeah.
I think that's a
So,
good thing. Now I know
so
you
when,
have a brother, because I know you have brothers.
yeah,
So what about them? Like, how is that going?
a little hectic at first, but one
Okay.
is I made to him, like, that's what about depression. I asked him, like, would you rather have a dead sister or a happy brother? So, like, he like, happy brother. So he one day one day at a time with him also. So he's taking one day at a time, you know. He's still
Good. That's what's up. So now moving on to that, that's good because I mean that appears that your struggle to me more so when you finally did decide to come out with everybody else, it was okay because that's a hurdle. I mean, first you got to deal with yourself and accept who you are, and then once you battle that, get over that hurdle and battle that, then you got to come back and let all the people know that were part of who you used, that name that were attached to that old name, who you are now. And that can be, for some people, we know that it don't go as easy as, what you have experienced. So now, since there's not a lot with that, because you had a good experience, what about your support on the outside? Now, talk about like the outside. Have you had bad experiences from people on the outside that knew who you were as Ashley that now know you as Ryan?
No, most of the people I know were really cool with it. Just like when I moved to South Florida, had some mix up with strangers, you know. So I found like a good group of people down here. Even before I moved down here to Florida, I researched trans groups down here, and I connected them before I moved down here to Florida.
That's what's up. Let me tell you something from a personal note, on a personal note. So talking to you now, and we do evolve. I mean, you've grown from the time that the last time I saw you, but even now, from me thinking about the person back then, your confidence level is way higher. So
Yeah.
there had to be something that was there that was holding you down. I had no clue, so who was the first person that you talked to about it? Like, who did you go to besides? So it was that one person that you met, like this stranger. It wasn't somebody that you knew that you said, I'm feeling this way.
Well, actually, I knew of her, but I didn't know her personally.
Okay.
So, one of my friends, she comped some tickets for me to a Mrs. game one day, and we had a box seat. It was actually another group was in there also, so they gave us food and whatever. So, it's actually this trans woman I met, and we just like connected. So it actually came out to this other trans man. We actually had flown here in DC he lived in Atlanta at the time. He flew in DC. So we went to a bar and like we just started talking about his transition. And I was like, man, I feel some type of way too. I'm ready to come out. Like,
Yeah.
advice can you give me? And we just like connected from there.
That's what's up. Wow. How's dating? How does that go?
Well, I was engaged last year, but that didn't work out. So right now I'm single right now.
Okay. I saw that. And I didn't know, didn't you post something?
Yeah, last
I
year.
saw
Yeah.
something about that. Okay. So that didn't work.
No.
Wow. Can I ask what happened?
Just a lack of communication. She wasn't communicating me on a regular basis, so she's pushing me away. So she wanted to spend time with me. So I just, it was hurtful, but I had to do it for my well-being.
That makes sense. And that's important. I mean, you've already dealt with something, with your well-being. So I think, mentally your well-being is it should be important to everybody, but I know the struggle with just me being gay, back in the day. So I can only imagine that struggle. And that's why I say that. So, your mental is very important, to not let nobody come in and mess with that. So, I'm glad that you're strong enough to know when to get in and get out of a relationship. So with dating, was it a trans person?
Yes.
Are you more comfortable within your own quote unquote world as trans? I don't mean world with it by an insult, because I could say the gay world, but I want to be very clear with what I say to people. I don't want nobody cussing me out. What do you mean? But, are you more comfortable dating trans, or are you comfortable dating anyone?
I'm comfortable dating anyone. As long as they accept me as who I am, I'm comfortable dating anyone.
Do you tell people off the break, like when you start, not right off the break, but as you start talking to them, what is the proper time to let somebody know, in your opinion, like, hey, I'm trans? Because they're meeting you, with the assumption that you were born a man, maybe. So, maybe they may, know what they think, but they're meeting you thinking that you're born a man. And so when you start talking to them, at what point do you decide, all right, I better tell them?
At least after like if we still dating, like going on dates after a month, 2, maybe 3 months, I would tell them.
So so what if, what if some intimacy came in within that time frame, and would you feel like, do you feel like that's kind of betraying them or
Yeah,
deceiving rather?
yeah. Then if that happens, then I actually tell them before. You know,
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So before any type of physical thing comes into play, that's when you let them know, hey,
uh,
okay,
yeah,
okay. All right. Has intimacy been, were you intimate as a female?
yes,
Have you been intimate as a trans?
yes,
Is it different?
yeah. It's different.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So I want to say better. I mean, because you happy in the skin you in. So it's probably better, because I think that makes a difference. Because if you're being intimate and you're not comfortable with your physical being, then you can't, be comfortable sexually all the way. But if you're
Yeah,
comfortable in your skin, then I can see you kind of just letting it hang loose.
yeah.
It's like no holds barred, let's do it. So I can kind of see that. So do you, with your transition, like, do you want to go all the way? Like, where are you just looking to, get rid of the top piece? Have you got rid of the top? Have you got rid of the?
I had top surgery back in 2019.
Okay.
Sorry, 2018. I had top surgery.
Okay. So how was that? Like, how? So tell me how it starts. Like, tell me from the beginning. Like, what do you? The whole process of transitioning. Like, is there one platform that everybody has to follow, and then some go further and some don't? Like, tell me how it starts as far as the physical aspect of changing.
The changing. Well, I had to meet with a doctor, and she had to prescribe me testosterone. So once a week, I lived in DC. Well, sorry, every other week I had to take another T shots. You either use a gel or you use like a syringe, and like to get testosterone. You had to stick it in your thigh.
Mhm.
Yeah, at least like once every other week.
Mhm.
The medicine keep coming in. So you start to feel like more facial hair, your legs, your arms, your chest, your back. Um,
So you start to like just grow hair,
yeah,
like
after a
it
while, I
just
started
starts
growing hair.
popping out from everywhere, like
Yeah,
men.
after a while, after at least like 6 months of taking tea, like the hair came like fully
Wow.
body. I actually shave it right now, so
Oh, so you're clean shave right now.
yeah,
Mr. Handsome Clean Face.
yeah.
So all right, so you take the shots, and then so do you still, like, so do you have to take them forever? Like, is there a point where you stop? All right, I'm good now.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
if you can stop it anytime you want to. You can stop, but if you want to keep going, like you keep going. It's no set time day when you gotta stop. If you want to keep going, you can. If you don't, you can. After that, uh 2019, I had top surgery, March 2019. So I had a friend, she set me up with a doctor in DC at George Washington Hospital. And I went in, had a few appointments. I set a date for my top surgery. It was by probably like 7 a.m.
mm,
That's when I had top surgery.
dang. Like, how was that when you took the bandages off and saw, the transition? Did it feel real at that point? Like, did it feel real before that, or that's when it got real for you? Like, okay, I've done
That's when
this. Huh?
that's when I actually got real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it
Okay.
took forever to heal.
Mhm.
Um, of course, I'm being stubborn. I didn't follow directions.
That's a dude thing already right there.
But then follow directions. So I wasn't supposed to lift anything after my surgery, but my friend had bought me a case of water, so I had lifted a case of water, took it upstairs. So
Okay.
that for directions, yeah.
What happened? Did you bust a staple or something? Okay,
No,
it
no,
just
no, just just the
prolonged.
simple, like don't lift anything heavy.
Yeah. Just you not following instructions, basically. That's just it.
Yeah, but
So
like I was like thinking, how am I supposed to get a case of water upstairs?
do
Nobody's.
that. There's nobody around. I mean, I got to do this.
Yes.
I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
probably would have did the same damn thing, being hard headed, of course. So you said that you can stop taking the shots at any time, but if you see, that's something new, because I do know a little bit, because it's just research and me wanting to know every damn thing I can know. But I didn't know that you could just stop taking the shots, because if you stop taking the shots, you won't regress.
Yeah, you can regress, but like as you get, I don't think many people have actually stopped taking their shots.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
once you stop taking them, like you like go back to like the detransition phase. So I don't think any trans guys want to go through that
Yeah.
one.
So you literally, so let me get, huh, unless you have, no, let me not go ahead of myself, because I got a question about that, because that just made me think of something else. So there are some, but it's not known, or not a high percentage of people that stop taking tea. Typically, people stay taking tea forever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The people I know take tea for as long as they want to.
And that's to keep that testosterone at a high level,
Yes.
so you don't experience the emotional roller coasters that a typical woman would experience, because the
Yeah.
estrogen would eventually start to replenish itself. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah. To kick
Okay.
back in. Yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So now, what about because I hear there are a lot of conflictions when it comes to the bottom surgery. I hear half want it, half are like, nope, I'm not messing with it. A lot of people like, if I can't choose the size, then no. So what is up with the bottom surgery? Why don't people do that? Are you going to do it?
Most people don't do it because the side effects of it. I know somebody who just had bottom surgery, the first phase of bottom surgery, and he had it in Mexico. And
Oh,
yeah, he had it in
I'm
Mexico.
probably
And
looking real blind now, but go ahead. I don't care.
yeah, he had like severe like complications from it. And I was wondering, like, why did he get it done here in the United States? You know, but he said his insurance didn't pay for it, so he had to get it done in another country where they do it for a cheaper amount or maybe do it for free. So there's several complications that actually with the bottom surgery out here. You had to take several weeks off from work. This the first phase is if you don't mind me saying, they
No.
take these out, like your fallopian tubes, they take any female organs they have and they get rid of it.
So once you do that part, if you stop taking tea, because now you no longer have those female organs, if you stop taking tea, does the estrogen reproduce itself still? Do you still have to take tea no matter what?
You still have to take tea no matter what.
Okay.
For a certain amount of time before and after your surgery, but once you're healed, you start taking tea again.
Okay. You go right back on after the surgery and your healing process.
Your healing process.
So with him and his bottom surgery, because he took a different route, maybe, a less expensive route, or, overseas, and they do different things than we do here. Sometimes they can bend the laws a little more. He developed you say he developed a
kind of
infection, right? Was it by his fault that he wasn't listening, or it was something we know, or you all know that the doctor did overseas that made him?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
something the doctor did overseas.
Wow.
Like from Mexico, then here, United States.
Has that same infection been known to develop in trans men that have that bottom surgery? Bottom surgery?
I never heard anything like this. The infection he has, I never heard anything like that.
Okay, I'm only stepping myself away to put how I am about chapstick. Don't you? You haven't forgotten that.
Yeah,
everybody that knows me know that. Hey, I have the driest lips in the world, y'all. Man, all right. So So I don't look like I've been eating greasy chicken in here. All right. So what was I going to say? So yeah, so the what about yourself? Like with the bottom surgery, do you plan on doing the bottom?
At least sometime this year, yes.
Oh shoot.
The first phase.
Oh, you know I want you to come back once you do that. After the healing, though, after the healing, because I want, man, like shoot, and then you know how many ladies go ahead hit your butt up. Look at Ryan looking all handsome on his day on video. So you gonna have a bottom surgery. Was that a hard decision? Like what made you was when you initially decided, okay, I'm gonna go trans, did you know right then and there after your research you wanted to get the bottom surgery? Was this something you just came to the conclusion of?
No, I actually researched it a lot. I knew some person, he lives here in Florida. Actually, he actually had the three phases of the bottom surgery. So actually I've been talking to him. He's been coaching me about how the process goes. And I hear here in South Florida, surprisingly or not, it's some areas is trans friendly. So the doctors here are trans friendly. So if you point to the right doctor, and everything will be okay for the first, second, or third phase of the bottom surgery.
So explain to everybody what trans friendly is.
Be more accepting of trans people here
Okay.
in Florida.
So you say here in Florida. Why do you particularly say, because that must mean something when you say here in Florida? Is it prejudice there to trans for the most part?
Florida is a red state, but South Florida is blue blue counties.
Okay. Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. No, I understand. Okay. Okay.
South Florida, you know, it's expensive. They're trans friendly down here.
So you're really being an advocate, I see, for you and yours,
Absolutely.
and speaking out and speaking out against prejudice against trans men and women.
Yes.
That's what's up. I'm like I said, I can't say it enough how proud of you because I don't care where it is and what aspect that a person is helping somebody, but I think it's important, for all of us to be able to lend a hand to somebody else that needs it, because there's always somebody that needs somebody. And so what you're doing is really good. I mean, the struggle yourself for one thing,
Yes.
but you had it, that there are people that don't have it or didn't, don't have it as good as you did with your family and the outside world. So jumping forward to the world, how does the world treat you? Like, how do you feel, do you feel discriminated against? How you feel about that?
Finding a store and actually moved down here. It was like trouble finding a job, and shockingly, the first discrimination I had down here, it's actually from a gay person, a gay man. Um, not everybody is trans friendly. No matter if you part of the LGBT community, everybody's not trans friendly. I went in for an interview, and like this guy, he just like straight up told me he don't like trans people. So I got up and like walked out.
I'm not here for you to like me. I'm here to do a job. But I understand you walking out. I just can't believe the blatant disrespect and lack of respect. I can't even believe somebody would come out their mouth and say that. I mean, at the same time, it's like, damn, I respect you for being so damn blunt and honest, but God, I ain't even doing it. You don't even know me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not I'm Ryan. You don't even know me. People kill me with that. That's exactly why I'm doing this right here. That's a prime example. You don't even know me. You might love me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I'm glad you got up and walked out and stood your ground, because I don't give a hell. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Damn, I could have took this company and skyrocket this company, but because I'm trans, that's crazy. So I'm sorry that you had to even experience that. But what other things have you experienced, or was that the only thing? Luckily,
that's the only thing. That's the only thing. Luckily, I experienced down here right now. I'm actually working a job. I had a job before at Macy's, and they're pretty trans friendly. But now I got a job on Amazon right now. I've been working there since this past October. So everybody is like trans friendly down there. Nobody discriminated against me. Everybody's really cool. Nobody saying out of the way to me. So Amazon is pretty a trans friendly place to work with right now.
All right, everybody, y'all hear that? Shout out to Amazon. Hey, so you said, so do you just, how do you like, because I mean, I don't just walk, people just kind of assume when they see me. I mean, they could be wrong. I could be straight as arrow, but do you just walk in and be like, hey, I'm trans? Like how do you like you said they're trans friendly. So like how do they even know you're trans? Like what, how do they know? Because I don't just walk in and say I'm gay.
Yeah, like the jerk. I guess he put two and two together,
Okay.
So,
okay.
I went for an interview, but most people like they assume like I said, I'm shaved right now, but they assume like I'm a cisgender man.
Right. So they assume, so when people, so okay, so you can see some trans and you don't even know unless somebody say, hey, that used to be a girl or that was a woman or whatever. So it's like, what? Then you have some that that you see and you like, that used to be a girl, or you could just look and assume, that they're trans. So you feel like, do people more so know when they see you that you're transitioning?
Yes and no.
Okay, well, meaning
when I'm shaved, yes. When I'm not,
you got the butt face, they don't know. When they know,
yeah. When I'm not shaved, when I have a full beard, they think I'm like I was born a male.
Wow, man, that's so. So, what about females? Do they do females approach you?
Yes.
So, and then do you? So right. So when they approach you trying to talk, like, so let's just say, girl, come try and talk to you, and they think that you're a guy, and do you tell them, sweetheart, I'm a trans, or do you just give them the number and you just, like you said, wait 2-3 months, see where it goes, and tell them?
So wait a few months, see where it goes.
It's why you don't tell them right off the break.
I don't want to give any but let them judge me in any type of way. So that's when I wait to see.
So there's still some fear there.
Yeah.
Because do you feel that would be kind of deceiving? So let's just say that 2 months pass, right? And I'm mentally like connected with you. Like I'm feeling, which is a double-edged sword to me, because okay, 2 months I'm mentally connected to you. I'm feeling you. And it's like, wow. And then it's like we're meeting and we get ready, go out, and as I'm getting ready to kiss you, like, hold up. I know we've been kicking it for 2 months and things have gotten heavy mentally, and I'm trans. Do you feel like that's a gut puncher to somebody? Like that you should tell them right off the break?
Yeah, it could be a gut puncher for somebody. So I try to wait to see where she is right now and like going on. Then I would tell her.
So you do it like a case by case basis with people.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely understand the kind of sort of fear of telling somebody up front, because before they even get to know you, it's like, trans what? And it's like, but if they, other end, if they get to know you, it's like, your chances are higher that they'll, accept and be like, hey, even though I never did that, I want to know more about you. So I can understand that. I think it's a double-edged sword with me, because that can bite you in the butt or be a good thing. So when you mentioned, when we were on the phone talking for the brief, or when we were texting rather, you had said, we talked about like struggles that you may go through. So, now that I know all the happy points, and I'm really glad to know that you did not have to go through a hard transition with your, a hard time with your transition with family and the outside world, stepping on you basically to make you feel like you don't fit. But what are your everyday struggles that you deal with that you want everybody to know?
Just going out in public, will people misgender me, will I be discriminated? Actually, Florida has a law where you can discriminate against trans people, LGBT people, particularly trans people. But I get the housing, right now, I live in a house right now. The landlord is cool, as long as I pay my rent on time, he doesn't care. But not everybody could be open-minded like my landlord. So, if I live somewhere else, the people find out I'm trans, like where they put me out in the street. That's everything right there. also the different jobs I had. Lucky Amazon, previously I worked at Macy's. Lucky Macy's and Amazon, they can't fire you for being, trans or whatever. So right now, if I had a different job, worked at, a bank, a law firm, whatever, would they fire me for just being trans? That's the everyday struggle. If I get evicted from my place for just being trans.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. So, I mean, with the discrimination as far as like jobs, for instance, and housing, I mean, a lot of people do you notice that people are just blunt about it, or they do that passive aggressive thing where they, but they don't want to say exactly what it is, but that that's what it is? Or are they just
Yeah.
being blunt like the guy at the job? I don't like trans.
Yeah, some people are like passive aggressive with it. Some people are like very blunt with it. So it's like a 50-50 with people down here.
That's crazy, man. I can't even believe that, just for housing. Like, you can't even stay in my home, like in this apartment building, like, because you're trans in 2022. Like those, and you said that's it's a law that you can discriminate against trans in South Florida. Is that what you said?
The whole state of Florida, yeah.
In Florida it's a law
It's a
that
state
you
law,
can
yeah.
discriminate against
Yes.
trans in particular.
Yeah, trans people in particular.
Are you all doing something to fight that law? Like who? Like, I know y'all are. I mean,
Yeah, actually, I'm supposed to go to Tallahassee next week. We actually have it's like a trans law center have the trans lobby day in Tallahassee. So I'm taking a road trip to Tallahassee next week to actually next Friday I'm going to Tallahassee to try to get them to change this law here in the state of Florida. I don't care if you don't like trans people, we're still human beings.
damn.
We still had to have housing, we still had to have jobs, things of that sort. We still had to eat.
Period. That's it. Period. It's like there's nothing else to me in my mind. There's nothing else to explain. We're here. We have to have housing and we have to eat. And you need jobs. It's not that we don't want to work, but if you discriminate, then we're going to be out here on the streets. There's going to be a lot of suicide, a lot of murder. Who knows? People flip,
Yeah.
because they feel like they don't belong. So we need to embrace everybody and show everybody that they belong. You have a place. Like, everybody has a place. It's not for nobody else to put somebody out and act like they don't deserve a piece of the pie here, in the world. So I can't stand that. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you are out doing something. And I know it's several of y'all, somebody else who I know that transitioned, that I knew years ago, that I know that he is out there like doing stuff. I see it. I don't physically see him, but I see him on Facebook. So, I see him, and I seen you in a couple of pictures with him and, stuff. So I know that y'all are out there actively, fighting for rights and laws. And I commend y'all. I commend you. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Before we go, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Tell the ladies out there, man, are you single?
Yes, I'm very much.
Single? And look at, hey man, look here. Hit my man Ryan up, y'all. No, seriously, I love you, man. I love you. And I'll be checking back in with you for an update. I'm glad to have spoken with you.
Absolutely.
Likewise. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Change come one day at a time. Just every day is a new day. Keep on fighting.